All right, and good evening, good day. Welcome to the Short Vol Show Live Weekend. And as I flash pictures of Mitch McConnell up on the background here, there's a reason for that. Let's talk about the week that was really quick. Then I want to talk about what's going on with volatility and the position and some other issues. So let's start by just reviewing the week for a second. And what a week it was as far as the market rally here. A lot of stuff happened, and I need to disconnect that because that's not working right. It's all started with Powell coming out and saying that, basically saying nothing, but his comments could have been interpreted to mean that we will have 2 rate hikes this year. During that same day, we had there were rumors going around that the Democratic part of the government was going to try to block these Mexico tariffs thing. Nobody really liked this Mexico tariff thing, and that was evident for as soon as the president announced it. You can go back to my video and see me talking about how it was messing with the NAFTA 2.0, et cetera, et cetera. And Mitch McConnell, who is he's the Senate Majority Leader, does not want to get the president up in his business. He does not want the president to, he doesn't want to go against the president, but so he talks very softly when he's saying something that could be construed as being against the president. And I try once again to get my second screen up and running here, but it's not cooperating with me. So anyway, we're going to go without the chart for the moment. So Mitch McConnell came out 2 days ago and very softly said, we really like to get this Mexico thing resolved. We're going to try to meet with them and get this resolved because Mitch McConnell knows that a big tariff with Mexico is, first of all, going to hurt the general public. Second of all, going to hurt businesses, which he cares about more. And third of all, is going to hurt the Republicans getting reelected to the Senate and the House, which he cares about the most. From my lefty point of view, Mitch McConnell wants to be left alone to pack the courts so that Democratic power can continue for years and years and years after potentially they don't have power over the Senate anymore. But it seems at this point like Republican power of the Senate will last for quite some time to come moving forward right now. But Mitch McConnell would like to be left alone to pack the courts. But to do so, he has to stay in power. And I think he saw this Mexican terrorist thing as a threat to him staying in power. So he very quietly, middle of the week, said, we'd really like to get this thing resolved. I think the administration heard that message. As several people have said, this Mexican deal is the worst kept secret on Wall Street all week because we've been rallying all week due to a potential deal. Now, that's not to say that this was a done deal. And in fact, it wasn't until kind of after the close on Friday that things kind of solidified that there was a deal. I'm trying to find the tweets, but several people on my Twitter were tweeting about how this was the worst kept secret on Wall Street, et cetera, et cetera. And we did notice the reason why it wasn't, the way I know it wasn't a done deal until after the close Friday is volatility did not collapse on Friday afternoon. In fact, with E-minis up 30 all day, volatility was firm. The VIX ended up up 37 cents. Now, usually when you've got E-minis up 30 points, the Dow up 300, volatility is collapsing, especially when you're up around the 16 level, which is, it's not like the VIX was in the basement. But I would suspect to see vol actually collapse more Monday morning, assuming the president doesn't reverse course and actually impose the tariffs somehow Monday on a tweet. But things were firm all week as far as, I'm sorry, what am I saying? Things weren't firm all week. Volatility came in, but things were firm all day on Friday as far as volatility goes. And most of the speculation about that was due to the fact that there was still uncertainty about the tariffs. There was a lot of this talk that a deal was being made, but it wasn't certain yet. So that is my sort of read of what's going on now. I hearken back to watching this show with LaSalle Anunga's show this week, and how he on the show had to kind of like debate with people about whether we were going to have rate cuts this year. And, the Fed was signaling that there's going to be rate cuts. All you have to do to figure out rates and rate cuts is look at the Fed funds pit. There's a Fed funds pit at the CBOT, and it gives you a percentage chance of rate cuts throughout the rest of the year. Sal had to debate with these people on his channel about whether there's, the administration was signaling rate cuts or not. And, there's plenty of things to debate in the financial markets, but this was just known news that had come out and it was publicized and that you could read about all over the internet. Which brings me back to a point which I feel like I need to make right now, just after watching that interaction between Sal and his fans. I rage against technical analysis, and I rage against other forms. Sometimes I rage against like macro analysis. But look, if you want to trade, you've got to know your charts. Now, you hear me all the time being anti-technical analysis, but anything I'm trading, I know the charts. I can, in my mind's eye, I can see the chart of any product I'm trading, and I know it inside out. And you should too. Secondly, you should be you should be paying close attention to world news, and you should know what is going on in the news if you're trading. And yeah, you might not base entirely your trading decisions on that, and you might be a technical trader that just bases a lot of stuff off the charts, but even so, you should know what's going on in the news, and you should know what's going on in the rate situation. And Sal shouldn't have to come on and tell you, hey guys, the Fed was signaling rate cuts. You should know that already. And if you don't, you're missing out on some key information that should be part of your decision process to be making trades. As a either option or stock trader, you should be the most informed person about news of anyone in your surroundings, because it is key to your success as a trader to know what's going on in world news, to know what's going on with politics, and anything else that could affect your positions. You should know about inside out. And like I said, I'm not a technical trader myself. I would consider myself more of a momentum trader, but you're doing yourself a disservice if you don't know your charts inside out and know what's going on with the Fed and interest rates, and of course earnings, your sector. You should also know what's going on in the rest of the market, which brings me to my next topic, which is BYND, Beyond. Anybody who's been trading this week should know about Beyond. This is a stock that's just completely exploded this week. And has to do with a product that is like meat but really isn't meat, and it's been the big high-flying stock this week that people have been messing around with. And I'm going to do a separate video where we look at some options trades in Beyond probably tomorrow. It kind of is drawing parallels to many people to Tilray. You'll remember earlier in the year, Tilray got up to $300 and then went back down, and has been basically going lower ever since. Now, the lesson here is not that, okay, you just short this and you're going to make a lot of money, because that is likely to blow up in your face if you just come in and short beyond. So I'd be very careful about thinking that you're smarter than the market or that you've got it figured out. It's so funny. I'll be in real life somewhere, like at the gas station, and somebody will say, "Oh, guess what? Oil is going higher." Everybody knows oil is going higher in the next couple months. And just if you think about it, if everybody knows something's going to happen, wouldn't it already be higher? But that piece of information that the man in the streets tells you is actually a piece of information. It tells you what the public is thinking about something. And just from a skeptical point of view, the public is generally always wrong. But you need to take that into consideration. I remember as a market maker, I had people that were contrary indicators. I had one boss who, although he was a lovable guy and very intelligent, he seemed to be always wrong. So if he said it was going to go up, then it was pretty sure it was going to go down. And if you have enough people around you, then you'll be able to use some of these people as sort of indicators for you. And the public saying oil is definitely going up, well, it could be a contrary indicator. It just kind of depends. But it's definitely another piece of information for you. But, if you think about it, if somebody is saying, oh, well, this is gold's definitely going higher, if everybody is saying that, then, like I said, it would have already gone higher. And B, it just gives you an idea of sentiment towards things. All right, so like I said, tomorrow we're going to dig more into charts and more kind of technical stuff. I'm going to go over my UVXY position once again and forecast on volatility. Now, I'm not a big person into forecasts. I'd rather go over with you the mechanics of your position and how we roll stuff and leave the actual, so much of trading is actually being able to execute and move stuff around and do the math. And you have to have all these skills of mechanical skills down, and then comes the hard part of figuring out what you want to do. So I would rather focus with you on helping you get your mechanics down, getting all your systems in place, and then it comes to you to decide what you want to do with that once you have those systems in place. All right, so there you have it. The week that was, this week has been all about a rally off of a month down move. And, I suspect that if the tariff deal is sort of over, that the market will move on to something else next week, and we could see another sell-off, actually, as people's focus turns to less optimistic things in the world. But we'll have to wait and see on that. Tesla, of course, has had a huge sort of comeback, but once again, we'll have to see if everything kind of fades from here on out. And the rally kind of fades again. We'll have to kind of wait and see on that. As far as vol goes, however, coming off a month down move, it seems that vol is off the highs and will stay off the highs. But we'll have to wait and see once again as to what happens with that. All right, well, thanks for watching. Like I said, I will be coming on tomorrow, and I will see you then. Any questions for me, you can leave them in the comments or reach out to me on Twitter, and I'll try to discuss what your questions are live on my next broadcast. Thanks for watching today, folks, and enjoy your weekend.